Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pipedrive. My name is Spencer. I work in sales here at Pipedrive. I work out of our Florida office. And in this short video, I just want to give you a quick glimpse into the power of Pipedrive. I hear it every day. Companies tell me that they're struggling with a lack of process, a lack of structure, and it's preventing them from truly maximizing potential. But Pipedrive has this incredible ability to be able to help you and or your entire sales team become more efficient, become more productive, and perhaps for the first time, finally centralize all of your data into a system that makes your life easier, right? And a system that you actually enjoy using. As somebody that uses Pipedrive on a daily basis, honestly, I don't know where I'd be without it. And I can't stress enough how big of an impact that Pipedrive can have on your business, but also have on the way that you work day to day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start to go through some of the core functionality of Pipedrive. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll understand a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and ultimately, I think you're going to want to dive in yourself. All right, so this right here, this is Pipedrive. This is kind of like your home screen in Pipedrive. This is what we call the pipeline view. This is a fully customizable view that's meant to match your sales process, right? So whatever that process is, from when you very first talk to a customer until they sign on the dotted line and they become a customer of yours, what does that process look like? All I need to do to edit this is click this little pencil right up here at the top. And by the way, this is the best part about Pipedrive is how customizable it is, one, but two, how easy it is to customize. Because all I need to do if I want to customize the screen is hit this little pencil, and all of a sudden I can change all the names of all of my stages, right? I can delete stages if I don't need this many. I can always add more. Totally customizable, right? And I can drag and drop these to put them in the exact order that you need them to be in, all right? So that it's looking and feeling the way that you want your pipeline to look. Now, ultimately as well, you can have as many pipelines as you like. This is critical because we understand that you might have a totally different process for managing different types of clients. So you need to be able to have different pipelines that all have different sets of stages to them, right? That way you can stay organized and you can track them properly. We actually give you the ability to have as many pipelines as you want, which is really cool. Now, you'll notice that on this pipeline, we have a lot of these little white cards. What are these? These are what we call deals. And that's important because it's Pipedrive terminology. Other systems call them opportunities or prospects. We call them deals. And there's a lot of ways to get your data into Pipedrive. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, of course, we have an import data tab. So if you're currently working on spreadsheets, Excel, CSV files, something like that, or even if you're working in another CRM, couple quick clicks of a button and you can have all of your data feed into your new Pipedrive account. And that's critical because then you can hit the ground running and you don't lose any historical data. We also have a lot of resources on this to help you and make sure that you get all of your data into Pipedrive properly. So be sure to ask about that. Or there's just the old school way of, hey, I'm talking to a client on the phone. I want to add them to my pipeline. All I need to do is click add new deal. Now, what happens is this little form comes up, and this is the second bit of Pipedrive that can be totally customized because you and your company have very specific information that you need to track, okay? So what you do is you come into Pipedrive and you create what's called a custom field. You can have a bunch of custom fields to track all the data that you need to track, right? So again, ask yourself, what's the most important information for us? What are we asking clients that we need to find out? You come into Pipedrive, you create a custom field for those things, and all of a sudden it adds it to this form for you. Again, a couple quick minutes, really easy to customize. And then you fill out this form, it bundles all that information together for you, and it opens up a new card on your pipeline. And this pipeline's great, not only because it's clean and it's efficient and you can visualize everything, but because this actually operates off of a drag and drop system. So you can actually take these deals and drag them from one stage to the next until hopefully at the end of the sales cycle, you're ready to mark this deal as one, all right? Which is really nice. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we were actually the very first CRM to introduce drag and drop capabilities like that, which is kind of cool, right? So a little humble brag there. We were the first ones to do it, pioneers. What I want to do now, you have all of your different deals on your pipeline. What I want to do now is actually click into one of these deals, and we're going to look at what we call the deal detail view. This is the meat and potatoes of it all. This is where the magic happens. Okay, this is everything that you need to know and everything that's happened with this particular deal, all in one place, all on one screen. It doesn't get simpler than that, right? So just so that you know how the structure is, right up here at the top, this little bar, this is just a visual representation of your pipeline, and it actually just tells you how many days it's sat in the stage that it's in, which is kind of cool because you can run reports off of that. And then the left-hand side of your deal is what I call your information center. All the information and the data about this deal is going to be on the left-hand side. What's the value of this deal? When do we expect the deal to close? What's the customer's name, right? And then remember, I told you can customize all your own data fields, right? So all those data fields are going to be right here on the left for you to be able to reference or for you to be able to update yourself. So you can update as you go. Information about the deal itself, information about the customer. What do you need to know about the customer? Do you need to know their job title? Obviously their name, phone, email address. Do you need to know where they went to college? Whatever the case is, right? All of that can be tracked right here. And then if that customer represents a company or an account, you'd be able to track all the information about that organization as well. So the left-hand side of your deal is your information center. Now the right-hand side of the deal is kind of the real meat and potatoes of it. This is what we call the timeline. So what Pipedrive does is it takes all the data about this deal, everything that you've done, everything that you've actually logged with this deal, and it puts it in chronological order for you on this timeline, where the most recent thing is going to be right here at the top of the timeline. And then the further down that I scroll, the further back in time I'm going, right? All the way to the origins of this opportunity. And that's everything, including notes, right? So if I'm talking to, in this case, Darcy, the client, I am absolutely 100%, I am taking notes, right? And I am making sure I write everything down because I need to be as organized as possible. Now, we talk about how Pipedrive makes you more organized and more efficient, and all of those things are very, very true and very important. But it can also make you more collaborative with your team, right? And it can finally get everybody on the same page, which is equally important. We actually offer a really cool feature called note mentioning. So I can actually mention my teammates in notes, which is really cool. And it'll give them a ping and it'll let them know. That way I make sure that they see the notes that I'm taking. All right. And then they can also come in here and respond. But I'll hit save. And what happens to this note? It actually goes to the very top of our timeline because it's now the most recent thing. And now no salesperson would be fully effective without follow-ups. This is probably the most important part of sales, is effectively following up. If I just had an amazing conversation with Darcy, I need to keep that momentum going. All right. So I need to follow up effectively. So maybe at the end of the call, Darcy goes, "Hey, Spence, can you call me on Friday? That'd be great." I say, "Yeah, absolutely. I need to make sure that I call her on Friday. That's what this is for." Right. I can come in here and I can just say, "Hey, call Darcy. And I want to make this on Friday." You can also denote a time too, which is really cool. I can say, "Hey, I want to call her at 11:30 a.m." Now we fully sync. This is an awesome part of Pipedrive. We fully sync with your work calendars, right? Outlook, Office, Google, kind of all the main ones, we sync with it. So actually when you add this activity for you, what it's going to do is it's actually going to add it to your calendar as well. You can set up a priority if you want. You can also go ahead and tag Darcy as a guest and send her a calendar invite. That way she makes sure she knows that you're calling her at 11:30. And we also have one-touch video integrations with Zoom, Teams, and Google Meet, which we'll talk a little bit more about integrations later, but really important to note that you can actually manage your entire calendar invite system from directly inside of the deal detail view, which is great. Again, making you more efficient, saving you time, energy, effort, all the things that Pipedrive wants to do. And I'll come down here and I'll hit save and send invites. And so now I've got that, right? And now I'm going to move on to other prospects and other clients. But Pipedrive is going to hold me accountable and make sure that I call Darcy on Friday at 11:30 a.m. You can track your calls in here as well. And you can also, maybe most importantly, manage your email inside of Pipedrive and from right inside of the deal detail view. All right, so I can send and receive emails to and from Darcy from right here. You can actually manage your entire email inbox from inside of Pipedrive too. So again, if you don't want to leave Pipedrive, you don't have to. Everything that you need from a day-to-day management standpoint can be found inside of here. And what's really cool as well is Pipedrive will grab any emails that I'm sharing with clients automatically, and it'll log them in this timeline view. So I can scroll down and boom, right there is like an example email. All the emails that Darcy and I share about this deal are going to be automatically logged in this timeline view. So no more searching my inbox for countless hours for different emails from clients. No, did I email them this or did they respond to that? Everything's going to be right here for you and organized automatically. And again, those emails can be shared with your coworkers and stuff as well if you want. So again, we're getting everybody on the same page, which is really great. You can also attach files in here, PDFs, spreadsheets, pictures, videos. You can do all that as well. And we actually also offer a document manager. So what's a document manager? Think proposals, quotes, contracts. If you need e-signatures for anything, if you tell me, Spence, yeah, we do all of those things a lot. If we do any of those things a lot, you can manage it all through Smart Docs, all under one roof. Okay. If you're using another software for that, that's fine. But we also offer our Smart Docs feature on the majority of our plans, professional and higher. Right. So managing all your quotes and proposals, e-signatures, everything right inside of our Smart Docs feature. And then finally, you can connect to an invoicing app like QuickBooks to be able to manage your invoices and get updates and everything on whether or not things have been paid or not and all that. So again, all the information that you need about this one particular deal is all in one place. No more jumping around, no more feeling scattered or disorganized. Everything's going to come into one central place. Most of it's going to happen automatically. And you have all the info that you need about this deal on this one screen. So now that we've kind of gone over the deal detail view, you've got a bunch of different deals and you've got clients and you're feeling as organized and efficient as ever, but you need a way to kind of manage your day to day. And that's what Pipedrive's great for as well, right? I already kind of mentioned it, how we have our email inbox where you can manage all of your emails, But we also have an activity manager for our activities tab. All of your follow-ups, anybody that you need to call, email, send a quote to, anything like that. Any follow-ups that you schedule for yourself inside of Pipedrive will all be consolidated in this activity view. So all you need to do is log in, go to your activities tab, right? And it'll show you for today everything that you need to do. I probably spend half my day in my activities tab because it's the only way that I make sure I'm getting it done and I'm getting it done on time. Okay. So maybe again, for the first time, you actually have the ability to manage it all under one roof. You don't need to be jumping from email to calendar back to your phone, kind of seeing what's going on. Everything's going to be in one place. So it'll show me everything that I need to do today. Maybe it'll show me everything that's overdue. I was supposed to get to this stuff yesterday or the day before, and I just didn't have time to get to it. Well, that stuff's going to be here for me, right? So that I don't lose sight of it and I don't forget. I can take a quick peek at what I need to do tomorrow. No more customers slipping through the cracks, right? That's the thing of the past with Pipedrive. In here as well, we have an entire contacts tab. This is kind of your Rolodex to be able to manage all of your contacts, all of your clients, anybody that you need to there. And we've talked a lot about all the different things that you can do in Pipedrive. And you can manage your day, and you're feeling organized, and you're feeling efficient, and you're collaborating with your teammates like you never have before, and all of that's great. But one of the most powerful ways that you can take that data and truly improve your business is to now report on it, okay? And that's what our Insights tab is all about. Finally, maybe for the first time, you have a fully customizable reporting dashboard that you actually like using, and you actually understand how to use, which is really nice. This is a fully customizable reporting dashboard called Insights, where you can fully create and customize all of your own reports. So what we're looking at here is a dashboard. And each of these little white squares or rectangles represents a different report, quote unquote, that I've put onto my dashboard. You can run reports on revenue, on activities, on deal performance, who's being the most productive and who's not, right? Where do we need to improve? Where are we doing really well? All of that is available for you here. And again, these dashboards are fully customizable as well. You can pick these reports up, you can drag and drop them and put them in the exact order that you'd like. And of course, you can absolutely have multiple dashboards. That's critical, right? To be able to have multiple dashboards. That way you can keep all of your information separate and organized, right? You can run different types of reports. These reports as well, you'd be able to click into, like if I were to click into, like I'll just click into, how about this one right here? This is just an example report where it's giving me a little bit more information and I'm able to segment and filter and sort by exactly what I want to, all on one screen. I can also take a look at this data in a pie chart or a column chart instead, right? Maybe you just really don't like pie charts. You're just not a pie fan. That's fine. You can do it in a column chart instead. Any way that you want to be able to see your data, that's what this is for. Cool. Now, I kind of briefly mentioned earlier how we have a couple of different ways to integrate, like with your email, to integrate with your calendar. I briefly mentioned Zoom and Teams and Google Meet, right? We actually have an entire marketplace in here for you to be able to connect to hundreds of different tools and apps that we connect with. So I'll open up our little marketplace here and let's actually just jump over here really quickly where you can actually see we have a lot of different apps that we connect with. If you want to connect to LinkedIn, DocuSign, again, QuickBooks, Zapier, right? We have over 400 different apps in our marketplace for you to connect to. So again, the more information and data that you have feeding in and out of your CRM, I keep repeating it, the more efficient you're going to be, the more organized you're going to feel, the better that you and your business and your team or you as a sales rep are going to operate. So the marketplace is a really, really effective way to kind of manage all your stuff. Teams, Slack, phone systems, Zoom, right? Everything really that you need, DocuSign, anything that you need on a day-to-day basis, go to our marketplace and try to connect your different apps. And then that way, again, all of your data is flowing to and from your CRM. And Pipedrive becomes truly that central hub of everything that you need to do. Now, jumping back over into Pipedrive really quickly, one other thing that I just want to mention really quickly, because we have so many capabilities that I'm so passionate about, but probably the thing that I think can have the biggest impact on just the way that you work and you finally looking at your CRM and saying, oh my gosh, this is saving me so much time and energy and effort, that's our automation. Automation is essentially you say, hey, Spence, I keep doing the same task over and over and over again, or I keep having to send the same email over and over and over again. Well, Pipedrive says, hey, let's make that a thing of the past and let's automate it. If you find yourself doing repetitive tasks, sending repetitive emails, needing to schedule the same follow-ups over and over again, you can actually just automate that in Pipedrive so it happens automatically. You don't have to do it manually anymore. We have a bunch of different templates that our team has made, which are just the most common automations that are kind of plug and play. You can just really quickly turn them on. Or you can actually make your own automation from scratch. You can say, hey, anytime this happens, I want these 2, 3, 4 things to happen automatically, right? Anytime that I get a new deal in my pipeline, I want it to automatically schedule me to call that customer. I want it to automatically send that customer an email from my email account introducing myself. Hey, my name's Spencer. I'm from Pipedrive. I'd love to talk to you. Anything that you find yourself doing repeatedly, just automate it in Pipedrive. We have a ton of resources around this, and we actually have a team that can help you build automations. So definitely ask about that. But I'll actually just show you an example of one really quickly. So now you see we don't have any, we don't have any follow-ups or anything there. I have a really quick automation that just says, well, hey, anytime I take a deal and I move it from stage 2 over into the quote sent stage, I want to schedule a quote follow-up for myself to be sure to follow up about that quote. So I'll actually just drop this deal into the quote sent stage. What it's going to do, it's going to automatically schedule me that quote follow-up for 2 business days from now, because that's what I want, right? And you just see that happened automatically, right? I didn't have to schedule that. So again, it's saving me a ton of time, a ton of effort, a ton of energy, and it's maybe most importantly, making sure that things don't get missed. There you have it. Quick glimpse into the power of Pipedrive. Really appreciate your time today. I definitely encourage you, sign up for a free trial. Come see what Pipedrive is all about. I think you're going to really love it. Thanks, everybody.